Well, I am committed to getting all these videos done today. It was just too hard on the weekend with going to the barn, then going to the sale. When I'm at the sale, I don't have free time just to run down and do a video. I mean, we're sitting there watching horses. Yeah, that's all right. I did put them all down in alphabetical order. Amy did. Somebody had asked me multiple times this weekend, people had asked, how many horses do you have? How many yearlings do you have? I didn't know. I was a little embarrassed. According to what we have. Now, the private horses that aren't on the system yet, I'm going to have to write them down today. The private ones, we have 6 so far that I know of that are not on the system. So according to my records, we have 53 yearlings right now. 51 of them are on site, but this list could be incorrect a little bit. I'll run through all the horses we have on the system right now, because you guys don't know about the other ones anyway. So it's not that I'm trying to hide them or anything. It's that for the private breeders, I've told them it's very simple. I can't just throw the horses up on the system when we're trying to get our horses situated. The ones that we bought at the sale, the ones that we have coming in, we'll get them on this a horse like Rito Sunshine. Jonathan, the owner, Jonathan Guardhouse, he wanted to look at the sale average for Sunshine Beach and then try to figure out how much to put his horse on for. Very responsible thing to do. And Rito Sunshine is as good a looking horse as you're going to find on the property. So Jonathan just wanted to make it fair for everybody, including himself, which is very admirable, to be honest. So Rito Sunshine, you're going to see go up on the site probably within the next 48 hours, I would suspect. Beef and Cheddar's not up yet. It's a great name. Beef and Cheddar is the half-brother to Need Your Opinion by Better Than Cheddar. Royal Tyrone was sent to us yesterday. Jody and his wife sent us that, or Jody Jameson and his wife sent us that horse. They ran him through the sale, ended up buying him back, and are interested in putting him through Thestable.ca. Either way, we'll jog him today, take some pictures, and then Jody and I will talk about what we're going to do moving forward. Barbie's Crown was bought in Lexington by a client, a friend of mine, Steve Palermo. He wanted to send the horse to me. He wanted to own the horse with me. He said, "I'll send the horse, but you got to own half the horse." And I don't know if Barbie's going to end up on the system. It doesn't sound like there's going to be many shares available for Barbie. She's a pretty horse, nice filly, decently bred. She's a wheelin' and dealin' filly that was purchased. And then a good friend of mine, Bob Burgess, who we've done business with the last 4 years, has 2 horses to send over here also. I think he's just prepping them. Either we have to pick them up or they'll be dropped off this week. Now, those are siblings to Capistrano and Trafalgar, 2 horses that we're very interested in. So that's 6 right there. I'm going to run through the 46 in alphabetical order that are on the system. Tell you what I think about them, what I've seen so far. Adrenaline Rush is a Sunshine Beach colt out of a filly named Simply Marvelous. Now, Simply Marvelous took a mark of 150, made $350,000 pretty much the hard way, and was a really good hard-nosed mare. She's thrown some mediocre horses so far, except for one standout. His name was Chocolate Milk Toast. Who named that horse? Chocolate Milk Toast raced in the golds all year in the three-year-old division. Nice colt, does everything right, looks nice, had a cut on his leg when he arrived, so we always have a bandage on him, but just a good-looking colt. Next, we have Argento. Argento is a colt that obviously I bought in Lexington. He was near the top of my list right from the start of the sale. He's one of the few horses that I looked at on day 1, bought on day 5, and was ready and waiting for him the whole way through. Argento is a Donato Hanover out of a very strong family, trots nice, looks great. Better's Hope is, all these horses also will be under the drone on Saturday. We're going to have the drone here on Saturday. We're going to start early because it's Breeders' Crown Day, and Curtis has something to do with the Breeders' Crown at Mohawk, so he has to be out there at 1:30, which he usually is anyway, but we're going to start around 8:30 for the drone on Saturday. Better's Hope is a colt that we bought. It was funny because I've known Anthony Montini, it seems like forever. I've known him since I first moved up here. Drove a lot of horses for him over the years. He's always been a really good guy to me. And he and his partners bred Better's Hope. I never thought about this until after, because it was consigned by Preferred. It didn't say who the owner was. I could have looked it up, but didn't matter. Better's Hope we bought at a Lexington for $40,000. This is a colt I thought would bring 70 or 80 the way the Better's Delights were selling. His mother was as tough as nails, made $500,000. Her name was Hope for Patty. I'm sure I drove Hope for Patty once or twice. I know James drove her a lot for Anthony Montini. Before Anthony Montini, Bill Robinson had her, and Billy Davis, another good friend of mine, drove her a lot also. Just a tough mare. This is a first foal out of Hope for Patty. His name was Better's Hope. I believe he's all sold out, but I'm not sure. There might be a few shares left. Some of those shares were bought by Anthony Montini's partner. I met him the other night at the racetrack. That's always great when the breeders stay involved and at least have the confidence in us that not only they're happy to sell the horse to us, which I guess they don't have a choice in at the time, but they stay involved, you know, take a couple of shares, reach out and ask about the horses and follow them. And obviously now that we're training 15 minutes away from where this horse, 20 minutes away from where this horse was raised, it's probably cool for him too. Next is a horse I got real high hopes for, and he is one tough bugger. Braemar is the betting line brother to Vegas Vacation. He's big, he's strong. It took 3 days of gradually more powerful tranquilizer to get shoes on him. This is one hard-nosed bugger. I'll tell you what, he had the blacksmith scared. Braemar, he doesn't seem mean, but he doesn't take any shit from anybody. And James likes him. He's in James's side on Shed Row 2. We got real high. Somebody said, geld him. No, I'm not going to geld him until I have to. He's extremely well-bred. We didn't give a ton for him. We give $30,000 for him. But I'm not gelding him until I absolutely have to. And Braemar, we are going to have to learn to deal with him. Broadway Roll is a Broadway Joe horse sent here by clients, private partners that sent the horse here. She's a beautiful little filly. She does her work really well. She's not big, but she's well put together, and she's pretty decent bred also. Pete and his partners that were clients of ours decided to send her here rather than selling her at the sale, which is a lot of confidence in us and much appreciated. So Broadway Roll is here now. Broadway Joe filly, for those of you in New York looking for a horse, could easily be the one right there. Cambridge Star is a horse that was sent to me, and we worked out an agreement where I actually own Cambridge Star now. He's a small colt, but he's decently bred, and I ended up buying him for $20,000 off a friend of mine, Steve Palermo, who owns a lot of horses with us. I just talked about the Barbie filly he bought. So Cambridge Star, he's small. He's gonna have to sell himself, but he will. I hope he will, in the fact that he's gonna have to look good. Not tall or anything, very small horse, but at the same time, I certainly don't have a problem with that. So Cambridge Star is ours. Can't Deny My Spirit, one of the first horses I brought. I trained him the other day. I didn't have a watch on him. I probably went a mile and 3 minutes with him. What a beautiful trotter he is. Really rounding into being a nice horse. So Can't Deny My Spirit, one of those Southwind Spirits that we bought 4. This was one of them. He was the first one. Trots beautifully. Can't Deny My Spirit. Can't Muscle Me. We bought a decently priced muscle mash yesterday, one of the better looking ones in the whole sale, I thought. One that I thought we couldn't afford, and I had priced her at 38 to 42, and we got her for square on 41. I really just thought she'd bring 60 or 70, especially how crazy that sale was selling. And this was another filly I thought would bring around 40 American, 35, 40 American. We bought her for 27,000 American. Again, breeder stayed involved with this filly also. A good friend of the stable who's had horses with us before, Ian Haley Moore and her husband, and they stayed involved with Can't Muscle Me. And she's a really nice filly. A little sick last week, so I couldn't start her up real good, but she's fine. She trots nice. Really excited to see how this filly's going to train down myself. Captain's Maid. We haven't even got to break Captain's Maid yet. She had a little hernia on her belly. No big deal. What they do is they put a clamp on it, and it closes it up. it's a long process, about a month, but once we get that clamp on her, we can break her and start moving her. She looks like she's eager to get going also. Beautiful filly. Captain Treacherous filly we gave $25,000 for. Obviously the hernia drove that price down, but literally, I don't know what it cost, $200 to fix the hernia, $300, I don't know. Cost $100 to knock her down, knock her out, and to apply a clamp, I mean, it's not going to be a lot. And considering how well she's bred, I mean, these are the types of things that I'm more than happy to do, because how can less than $500 drive down the price of a horse so much? This is a Captain Treacherous sister to Sunshine and Shade, a Sunshine Beach, that we gave $22,000 for. I can't help but think we made a good deal with Captain's Maid. So she's going to get that clamp applied in the next day or so, and then we'll break her and Bob's your uncle. Kerry Big Stick, one of our 2 Indiana breds we have right now, and he is exactly what I hoped he'd be. Mario has him up in the barn, and the older guy that takes care of him, Ron, he loves Kerry Big Stick, and I had kept a couple of shares of him because he was my #1 pick out of the Delaware sale. He was a horse I was very interested in, and I do like the Indiana program. And Ron tortured me until I sold some of my shares of Kerry Big Stick to him. So Kerry Big Stick's been sold out for quite a while. Just a really nice horse. Seems to do his work really, really well. Cut the Line. This is Brush Cut's sister by Better Than Cheddar. She looks like she does her work really well on the track. I saw her with the hobbles on the other day. She's up in Mario's barn. Looked great. I was very, very happy with her. Desperado, this is a well-said colt. We did buy some well-seds because they had transitioned to Ohio this year. And although there's lots of studs and sires in Ohio, I thought that coming from the very deepest end of the ocean with Pennsylvania, Well Said, he has thrown some very good horses too, but Well Said would fit in great. And Desperado looks like a real good horse, well-bred horse. Well Said that we bought in the first sale, I believe. He's been doing everything right, looks great on the track. Eternity Road, another one of those Southwind Spirits. I trained him the other day too. He looked great. This is his only dig, he went around the truck and the drag, no problem when it was out on the track. Nothing scares him except for horses. He's terrified of horses. So we have to put a screen on him now. You can't get him up beside them. You can't in behind them. He's always trying to figure out a way to pass them and laying down, like going down beside them. He's always looking at them and veering out. He's just one of those horses. Compass Rose DC was like that last year. Now she got over it, but she wore a screen all year also. A screen is what you'd see some of the horses in the summer wearing they call it a fly mask. So it literally is mesh that comes down over to their above their nose, and it shields them, but it also I don't know the best way to put it. Screens them a little bit, and it helps them navigate with a little more confidence. And I hate putting screens on horses, but Eternity Road, he's going to at least need to start wearing one right now. I trained him by himself. He trained great. Again, probably 1 mile in 3 minutes. But he's a really, really nice trotter. Again, another Southwind Spirit. First glance, that's a beautiful colt. We got the gray Thinking Out Loud. He paces really, really nice. He's got a lot of growing to do, but he paces really, really nice on the track. Fox Valley Britska, all he does is usually trot on the track. James went with him last week, and he looked like he could have trained him if he wanted to. Just looks great. This is our second Indiana bred, the Whom Shall I Fear colt. Another decently bred horse, I guess well-bred horse, Fox Valley Britska. Girls with Swirls is an Angus Hall filly that I bought privately on Gate through Winback Farms. Filly has got a lot of size to her. I didn't even know she was this big in her video. A lot of size to her, but trots great on the track. Danny really, really likes her. She's down in Shed Row 5. GW Chrome, another one that Ron wanted to buy shares in. He's up in the top barn. Beautiful colt. He is a Break the Bank K. This is a colt that was really bad at the sale. We gelded him the next day. That's how hot he was at the sale, and he's been A1 and perfect ever since. Holy Chick was one of our more moderate purchases. She was a Broadway haul, is a Broadway haul, and just a beautiful filly. Trot's beautiful. I think we only purchased her for $6,000. There's not a lot of her left, as I assume. Just a beautiful filly, does everything right. A Glare AM, another nice filly. This is the sister by Southwind Frank. By Southwind Frank, the sister to Harness AM. As I said at the sale, Harness AM was sleek and looked dainty like a filly and sharp. This filly looks more like a colt. She's stronger and bulkier built like a football player, and she trots really, really nice on the track. I'm happy to see that. I went with her a couple of times last week. Really impressed with Iglaire AM. I'm a Lovely Lady's trotted great since the day we got her. This was a small filly that was by my MVP. I think we paid $13,000 or $14,000 for her out of the first Ohio sale. She's just a really, really nice filly. I'm Hill on Wheels. That's the Muscle Hill colt. He's just getting going right now. I've only gone with him once or twice. I think I'll go with him this morning when I get to the barn. It's coming on 9 o'clock now. I'm Hill on Wheels is the Muscle Hill brother to Compass Rose DC. Looks fine on the track. I've only gone with him a couple of times. Again, sold out, I believe, as a lot of people gravitate towards. Can't blame them. You got Muscle Hill and a brother to a horse that did very well for us this year. Pretty hard not to buy him for what we bought him for. Who's next? Keystone Raven, this one of our better bred horses in the whole barn. Better's Delight filly. I still think there's shares left in her, and I'm not really sure why. This is a big, strong filly for a Better's Delight, and it's got a great gait on the track, looks fantastic, and not one, not two, but 3 dams of $100,000 winners. By 100, I mean 700 in the third, 500 in the third, in the second, and I think 300 or 400 in the first. Brothers, second dam, third dam, brothers and sisters, and fast speed badges also. Just a strong filly of lots of money and lots of speed. I'm a little surprised there's any shares at all left in our girl Keystone Raven. Let's roll on. Another big, this is one of the bigger horses we have. Not the biggest, one of the biggest. He is also a Southwind Spirit. Real study. They're asking me to geld him. If he keeps it up, I might have to. He's just a giant on the track and trots really, really nice. I haven't gone with him. I went with him the first week a few times. I thought he looked great. I haven't gone with him in the last week or so, but I will. From what I can see, obviously, he trots nice and pretty square and clean on the track. Miss Meringue trots nice also. This is our high-end filly, I guess. A filly I thought would bring 6 figures in Ohio. She brought 60 and we bought her. She's all sold out, as she should be, and trots really nice on the track. I thought she was getting over on the left shaft a bit, but then I watched her with Steve the other day, and then again with James, I believe. She was trotting great straight, so maybe she just picked at herself and bruised herself, and is now with a little bit of equipment trotting over it and around it, and looks good. Mama Knows Best, one of the biggest surprises so far. The cheapest horse I think we purchased was Mama Knows Best, and she trots past everybody. Zing. Now, I don't know how many times she'll keep doing that, or how long that will keep up for, or what she'll continue to do, but all she does is trot, and she can trot fast. This is the $4,000 Uncle Peter purchase. She looks absolutely great on the track. Does everything good. I don't ever go with her just because she trots so nice, but when we were going in groups the other day, you know, Disco went with her a couple of times. He just looped us. Boom. Just kept looping around us, stopping her, backing her up, looping around us again. She never makes a break, it seems like, and is always looking for a fight. Just a good-looking filly. Mama Knows Best. Momo. I haven't seen Momo in about a week. Danny has her down in the barn. He loves her. He goes with her early in the morning. I was set to move all the Pennsylvania and Ohio horses, all of them to James, fill up that shed row, and Danny said, no, I want the Momo filly. I gave Danny his opportunity to pick whatever horses he wanted, and he wanted Momo down in his barn. This is the Racing Hill filly we bought from Winterwood, and Winterwood stayed in on this filly also for, I think, 10%. But Momo's a filly that Ollie loved. This is the Ollie story. I liked Momo, and we ended up with Momo at a reasonable price, so very happy to have her. My Jazz was my MVP filly. Now, she made a bunch of breaks the other day, but all she's ever done is trot. I don't know what went on with her. I might go with her if they haven't gone with her yet when I get in. But My Jazz is usually all she does is trot, and that's my MVP filly. She's a beautiful filly. She was just goofing off the other day, and I had a little talk with Steve about her after and said, listen, either I'll go with her or put some weight on her up front, but I want her trotting, and all the horses doing the work every day. See, this is the problem we run into. It's not a big deal, but everybody, you know, a lot of the older horsemen believe we're just put work in. We'll just, you know, they're just putting miles in. No, they're not. When they go to the track, we're not training them, we're not honing on them, but I want the trotters to trot, I want the pacers to pace, and I want them to do their work every single day. Every day they do their work wrong is a day they wasted my time, and you wasted my time. I want them done. I want everything done right every day. So either I'll go with her, James will go with her, or we'll add some weight. But you know, this whole cantering and acting up, it can't be let happen. and it won't. It's not a big deal. My Jazz has not. I've never seen her make breaks on the track, so when I was surprised when she did the other day, but that will be corrected quite quickly. No free lunch. This is the brother to Miss Brampton Beast, and he is a twin of Miss Brampton Beast. All he does is pace on the track. He looks exactly like her. So although she hasn't lit the world on fire this year, this filly's grown up huge. She's in to go tonight at Mohawk. She's been racing very, very good of late. Hanging a little bit, but I think more greenness than ignorance. I don't see the... I've seen horses hang before, and she doesn't strike me as a horse that's completely doing that. Yeah, she is, by definition, hanging, but it doesn't feel like she's being sour about it. She's just being green and a little lazy, a little stupid. But, you know, when you move her out of the hole, if she's straight in attack mode, she needs to finish that move off, clear to the front, and, you know, take no prisoners. That's what she needs to do, and I think she can learn to do that. If she was going to hang, she could have done it when I moved her, and she doesn't. She does it when she clears to the front. She just needs to be taught to finish those miles off, which we have, but clearly she wasn't paying attention in class that day. So Miss Brampton Beast and no free lunch, spitting images, and hopefully he ends up like her, because I actually like her. Northern Blizzard's a knockout. This is a gorgeous colt on the track. Another horse I thought we could buy. Steve and I differed on the price. He thought he'd go for almost twice what he went for, and I said Royalty for Life's did well, but quietly did well this year. I actually think they didn't do a very good job marketing this colt this year, this stud this year, because he did do very well. Royalty for Life did do well in the OSS, and I don't hear anything about it. I didn't pay attention. You know, the one we had, Warwi Ultra, was okay. We sold her. Northern Blizzard is a very well-bred horse by Royalty for Life, and he's also one of our bigger horses. Just a gorgeous horse on the track. All business all the time. Horse I am going to keep a very, very close eye on in Northern Blizzard. Horse I also like, who's quickly selling out, is Perfect Record. Perfect Record is the big giant Trixton colt with the big white blaze on his face. This is a colt that I thought would be a terror in the barn, but instead has been a complete delight. He hasn't done anything wrong, and his ears just go straight forward when he goes on the track. He loves being on the track, and I love horses that do this. So Perfect Record, Trixton colt, well-bred, and he's getting there. I have to call Wendy. Somebody just called me and told me they wanted 25% of this colt. So there's less than 30 shares left, or 30 shares left right now on Perfect Record. Rose Run Wanda. Todd goes with her every day. This is the first one he goes with, and he loves her. This is the We Will See filly, and he always likes going with her. She paces great on the track. Exactly what I wanted to see from her. We had a little bit of luck with We Will Sees, but they're not the soundest horses, and Rose Run Wanda's put together well, hits the ground well, comes off the ground well. No reason to believe there'll be any lameness issues with her, and she does everything right on the track. Rose Run Why Not was getting a little pacey for a couple of weeks. This was the twin of Miss Meringue. We talked about it at the sale. I said Miss Meringue would likely bring a lot, maybe 6 figures. There's a twin right over here that'll bring a smaller percentage of that, and it was just around 10%, a little more than 10% of what I said she'd bring. Miss Meringue brought 60, and Rose Run Why Not brought 10. And she was a little pacey last week. We added some equipment. She looked great on the track with Danny the other day. This is another filly that Danny wanted in his barn, and he wanted the next horse in his barn also. Roy Hill, probably one of the most underpurchased colts so far. This colt's got a big, long gait. He is extremely well-bred and does everything on the track. Paces straight as a string, has a great attitude on the track. Don't worry. I'm certainly not worried. When people have a look at Roy Hill, you'll know what I'm talking about. Under enough drone sessions, Roy Hill's going to sell out pretty quick. Set the Mood was very sick. No. Was it Set the Mood? No, not Set the Mood. Surreal Love. Set the Mood is the Heston Blue Chip colt. Does everything right. Looks great on the track. Very, very modestly priced horse coming out of the Goshen sale. And you guys are going to get a look at him also. I believe he's all sold out also. So I guess it doesn't matter. But Set the Mood, good-looking colt, beautiful white blaze on his face too. This is the Heston Blue Chip colt we picked up in Goshen. So admirable. This is one big, beautiful filly, and man, oh man, can she kick. Wow! First day we put the harness on her, bye-bye mud apron. destroyed that. Didn't fall down, but just kick, like, not like, hey, by the way, don't come near me. More like, hey, come on over here, I want to take your head off. So admirable. One mud apron, gone. And then we put the hobbles on her. All she did was kick in the hobbles, which is hard to do. If you kick as hard as she does in the hobbles, sometimes that, when you kick back, it'll, because the hobbles are on you, it'll drag the front feet right from you, down you go. She must be from Cirque du Soleil or something, because she can kick as hard as any horse I've seen and not even move in the hobbles. So now those hobbles might have started out at 58 inches. You can be sure they've been stretched to 60. I know that for sure. She didn't kick the other day, maybe just once, but she's got that. If she doesn't like what you're doing, she's decided she's just going to kill you. So, and in the barn, the sweetest filly you ever want to see. But on the track, watch out. She's now, the kicking has dissipated after 2 weeks, and she's decided that it's not that hard after all. She's going to be a nice filly, I think. She's got that right. She's got the right attitude. And this is the filly out of the same family as Admiral's Express. Really keeping a close eye on, so for a number of reasons, so admirable. Sunshine in May, very, very tiny filly that was sent to us by Sunshine Beach. One of our clients, Bill, had sent this filly to us. Just getting her gaited, getting her pacing. She's another filly. She's going to have to sell herself. You know, she's small. Her mother was tough. You know, like a 10 claimer, not like a champion, but always made money. Always, I drove her a number of times. Jason McGinnis, one of our trainers, owned her for quite a while. And Bill ended up with her and bred her to Sunshine Beach. And I like the Sunshine Beaches. I don't know why people, you know, and not everybody, a lot of people do like them. They sold very well in London. But this is a small filly that's probably going to have to sell herself. But at the same time, there's no reason she can't. Along the same lines as Peanut, right? Or who else sold out last year? Need Your Opinion. Very similar lines as Need Your Opinion. So Sunshine in May, good looking little filly. You're just going to finish getting her gaited. You guys will see her on Saturday. Surreal Love was very sick for a week, and now has come around. All he does is pace on the track. Just a beautiful colt, does everything right, and now he ended up with an infection in his throat. His throat filled up, and he had temperature, and it was a mess. He's fine now, though. So Surreal Love is back jogging. Looks great. Sweet Ambitions, a little stubborn, but beautiful on the track. James loves her. He goes with her every day. Tanzanite Tricks, another beautiful filly. She does everything on the track. This is the Trixton filly we got for next to nothing at the end of the Lexington sale. Very well bred. A couple of people at Breed said they'd be very interested in this filly if things didn't work out on the racetrack, which is always good. We always like to have, plan Bs if we need them, and Tanzanite Tricks is one of those. The Fat Cobra, I'm going to go with the Fat Cobra today. I hope they didn't go with him. Nice colt on the track, a little cranky on the track. He might end up being a gelding, this horse, but pace is nice, looks nice, and probably one of our better bred horses. The Fat Cobra, love that name. I'm going to go jog him right now. Tipsy and Dixie was a horse sent to us from the Lexington sale, from somebody that purchased her in Lexington. She stands off a little bit, and I told you that doesn't bother me with trotters, but you do want to get a look at them. And she trots straight as a string. She's actually got a quick gait. Another one that kicked the apron off a cart the first day. She's one of our smaller muscle mass Ontario bred fillies, but not tiny, and certainly not small in stature, because she took that apron off like she was a pro. Just a nice filly on the track. Does everything really nice. Try to Tease Me, fourth Southwind Spirit we bought, one of the bigger ones also. Beautiful on the track. All four of these breeds exactly how I hope they would. I would be shocked if they don't make nice horses. They're bred well, the ones that we bought, and they got great gaits, and they all got pretty good attitudes, so I'm very happy about that. Also, Walk on the Moon, his brother, the bridge horse, Moon Bridge, is in the Breeders' Crown on Saturday. Finished 4th or 5th, I think, in the Breeders' Crown elimination last Friday. So Walk on the Moon's 2-year-old brother is in the Breeders' Crown on Saturday, and Walk on the Moon, Mario has him up there and absolutely loves him. Warwee was up, and Warwee, welcome. Let's talk about them both at the same time, because we just bought them, and I'm on my way right now. That's right, I sat right here in the Starbucks parking lot doing my yearling video because I want to get these done for you guys. Warwee was up, Warwee welcome. 2 of the horses, I told everybody I was only going to buy 2 or 3 horses. Bought 2. I was not going to color outside the lines. Every horse I bid on in the London sale, you guys already saw a video on. That's hard to do because a lot of horses come through that you like, and you look at them, they look great. But as I said, given the proximity to the Lexington sale, there you go, Margot, put my seatbelt on. Given the proximity to the Lexington sale and the Harrisburg sale, it's hard for me to go in there and make a case just to spend a bunch of money. And I hope you guys understand, there's not a lot of you out there, not a lot of clients that actually send me an email and say, I'm interested at this amount of percent at the price point you've given me. I wish it was more like that because it would make my job less stressful, and rather than not eating jalapeno peppers on my nachos for 2 weeks, because I can't, I could. So, but I know that if I do my job right and I buy horses properly for a proper price, that people will show up to buy them because that's what you're here for, right? You're looking for value. And if I tell you that I found value and I buy the horses for less than what I thought they'd bring, you should be happy. And that's exactly how it works. But the difficult part is that little climb up that hill with that invoice on your back, like, War We Welcome, $41,000. Sure, we had clients that were interested in War We Welcome. I told all of them I didn't think we could buy her. I said 38 to 42,000. She's going to bring more. She's going to bring too much for me. You know, I think she'll bring 60 or 70, just on the way she looked. She should have. She would have on day one. I can guarantee you that. That nice colt by Archangel. I don't want to run anybody's horse down, but he brought $65,000, and, you know, decently bred, good looking horse, not better looking than this filly. And I know I can use this both ways. I can tell you the reason that I wasn't going to buy War We Welcome for 60 was because, and I told everybody this, if you take Peaceful Way out of that entire pedigree line, there's not a lot there. But she is in that pedigree line. And they haven't thrown a ton, but I've seen a lot of them, and they don't look like, oh my God, look at this horse, right? They don't give you that feeling. They haven't anyway. I've seen most of them. For the last 4 years, I've been going to every public auction and every waking second of the one in London. So every time a horse from this pedigree line has come in, you have this giant write-up, Peaceful Way, and the write-up's, 12 sentences long. You take note. And I've seen every horse in those pedigree lines, and they look nice, but they bring more than they should because Peaceful Way's in there. But if people were judging them and using their microscope, using that lens and saying, okay, it's Peaceful Way, but this doesn't look like a horse that will bring X, and it does anyway because of Peaceful Way, that's what happens. You are buying an inferior looking horse for a superior amount of money just because of what it says on the page. Now, the exact opposite happened yesterday. I thought that horse would bring 60 or 70,000, and it would have on day one. But she didn't, because people actually saw those lines also and said, no, my buddy had one out of that family, or I had one, or that guy had one, and it was okay. Like even the mare, Nobel Peace Prize. I drove that mare like 5, 6, 7 times. She was no Peaceful Way. She was okay. She certainly wasn't what everybody hoped she'd be. That was a sister to Peaceful Way. But the exact opposite thing, as I said, happened yesterday. This was a superior looking horse. This was a giant, very correct, beautiful looking muscle mass filly out of that bloodline. And people judged the past horses that were inferior looking horses and placed it around the neck of this filly. And because of that, and the fact that she was on day 2, she only brought $41,000, which was well below what I thought she'd bring. Exactly what I was okay spending for her. I priced her 2 days before, $38,000 to $42,000. That's what I'd be interested in her for, and that was after I inspected her. Thinking that, I said, having said that, I'm not going to get her for that. She's going to bring 60 or 70, so I'm not buying her. She brought exactly what I said I'd pay for her, and now she's ours. She's in the barn, and that's exactly what was supposed to happen. So, that's all the babies. War We, what's up? I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again. We're going to break him here in a minute and jog him. Gorgeous horse, big, beautiful, straight correct. Got him for exactly what I said he'd go for, because people are so infatuated with Bettor's Delight, Shadow Play, and on and on. Nobody thought a War We Needy could be a nice horse. One of the better looking horses in the entire sale on the floor was War We Was Up. He's in our barn now. We paid $12,000 for him, which is the bottom end of what I said I would pay for him. So 2 horses that were bought purposely and well within our budget, and they're now in our barn. So that's all the babies. There's 52, 53 of them in the barn, 51 on site right now in our barn. 2 or 3 more still have to come in, and then we still have Harrisburg. As I said to everybody, if you're interested in any Indiana breds, I'll run through the entire Indiana catalog, I guess, Wednesday. And if anybody's interested, we will be buying another sale, even worse shape. It bumps up right against Harrisburg, still right after Lexington. I truly believe these sales should be in November, mid-November, not in the middle of summer. But hey, what the hell do I know? Anyway, talk to you guys soon. I'm 5 minutes out from the barn. Gonna go break those 3 horses and jog them. Want to go with a couple more. Although it's a foggy, gloomy day, still riding high from Friday night. So, hope you guys are too. Talk to you soon.